You have an intro ready, Alex?
Yeah, frankly, with me being on all sorts of cold meds to get over my cold right now,
I'll take it.
you want to take it?
Yeah, I'll
All
take it.
right.
All
Let me
right.
write up something real quick. Yeehaw! It's Dallas week, y'all! The Redskins are the top dogs in the NFC East right now, and them boys are at the bottom of the totem pole. Is this real life? The Redskins face the Romeless Cowboys at home Monday night and look to keep building their momentum into a legitimate playoff push. Can the Redskins win 2 consecutive games and at the same time win in prime time? Find out next time on the Hogstye.
It's the Hogstye.
Welcome, everybody, to the Hogstye. It's your unofficial host filling in for Sean today, Robbie Duncan. And with me is the other two regulars, Alex Zeese.
Hey, everybody. Sean's gotten better looking.
And he wears glasses now. What the hell?
And he wears glasses. Well, Sean sometimes wears glasses, I think.
I think.
Yeah,
I don't have ice cream with me, though.
Ah. No,
And
you
then-
don't.
And then the father of the group, Stephen Thomas.
I don't know how to feel. I feel about being called the father, but I do
you
know
gave
that I think
yourself
this
that name.
this place was invaded by Deliverance. I think.
I don't know what that was about. Now, we have to figure out who that was, but it is Dallas week, guys. We want Dallas.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
We
Yes.
definitely want.
How sweet is it, though? I mean, we are at the top of the division. They're at the very bottom. Without Tony Romo, he got hurt again with the same collarbone injury, and we have the chance to really kind of, beat them while they're down.
Mm-hmm.
It feels pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the concern always is how horrible we do in primetime games.
Yep.
But really and truly, I mean, if you just look at both teams, this is a game. On paper, at least, we ought to do well.
Right.
Yeah.
We really ought to do well. I mean, the strength of their team with Romo out, of course, is their defense, as we know. But their defense is really nothing to write home about.
Mm-hmm.
It happens to be maybe the best unit on that team, but it's not saying much. I mean, their defense, ranked 7 in total yards, yeah, but they've given up a lot of points. 18th in total points. They are 7th in passing yards, but they're 15th in rushing yards. I mean, this is it may be their strength, but honestly, the statistics show that they're kind of a middle of the road group.
Yeah.
We really ought to be able to move the ball against them.
I hope so. We still, I think, need to kind of be careful and just not, be a little, not be over aggressive. Still
Don't get happy.
Stick to the game plan,
Yeah.
like you did against the Giants. I mean, we took our shots deep there, but we also took calculated runs and stuck to it.
Well, I'd like to ask the football guy a question here. I mean, Sean Lee is certainly their best defender.
Probably their best player on their whole team.
I
would
mean,
argue at this point.
Dez would certainly have something to say about that.
Dez
if
is
you
getting up
ask
there,
Dez.
and he got hurt. So
He's not
At
getting
least
up there.
talent-wise, Dez is the most talented.
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yes, raw
But
talent, yes.
But the point is, what makes Sean Lee so good, and what can we watch out for him, and what is he going to do to us?
I think Sean Lee is basically what Will Compton wishes he was. Sean Lee's much more athletic than Will Compton.
Sure.
I think they're both the same style in that they're very smart and they know where to go. Like they put their guys in the right place. They communicate very well. Only, I guess, he's less durable. But I mean, Will Compton hasn't been on the field very much to have a actual stance on that. I mean, so far he's been durable, but Sean Lee, it's amazing that he hasn't been knocked out for the season yet.
Yeah.
Every year he seems to do that.
He's kind of got the Jordan Reed syndrome.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, everything you said about Dallas to start off, Steve, though, has me obviously worried. It's a Monday night game. It's a trap game for us.
Oh yeah,
It's also a home game, which we've
Yeah.
proven this year to be pretty decent in playing
Yeah,
at home.
there's all of our various Redskins mojo rules that we all have in the back of our heads. Oh, if they wear, all red, they're gonna lose. If they play Monday nights, they're gonna lose. If they play at home, they're gonna win. If Kirk Cousins throws 2 interceptions, they'll lose. If we go against a rookie quarterback, we lose. If like all that weird stuff is
Yeah.
gonna kind of come to a head in this game, and we'll see what of those crazy superstitions of ours don't pan out.
Something's got
I
to
don't-
give, right?
I don't care about the superstitions. I'm just looking at both teams.
Sure.
And yeah, their Dallas defense is kind of, fair to Midland, and their offense isn't very good, certainly without Romo. But, statistically, our units aren't any better.
Yeah.
Statistically, our offense, no matter what the fans think, we had a good game last week, and I'm glad for it. But statistically, we're kind of in that same area, lower middle of the pack in most categories. So this is not a game where the fans can go to sleep. The team can go to sleep on it just because Dallas has a bad record. They've had some bad luck. Dallas has.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they've played a lot of teams close. They have lost close games.
Yeah.
They put up 28 points on the Falcons. New Orleans, was 20-26, so close game. We got destroyed. Or we destroyed the New Orleans rather. New England 30-6. That was the only real blowout they had.
Mm-hmm.
And
They
Panthers.
play, and
The
I
Panthers
left.
blew them out. Yeah.
Yeah, I left that game out. Yeah,
We share those similarities there.
Yeah.
right. And all the rest of the games they played pretty close, even in the losses.
Yeah, including
So-
Seattle. And Seattle, Seattle hasn't a great year, but they're still dangerous.
They're still
I
Seattle.
Yeah.
I just don't want the fans to automatically assume we're going to roll on this team.
Right.
We should win the game, but we're not that far ahead of them on paper. And it is a Monday, and we do have the history of the team just playing badly on Monday. So
Right.
I think the team needs to be careful.
It definitely could easily be a trap game.
Yes.
We've yet to win consecutive games, back to back, and a lot to go off of there. And it seems to me, though, I don't know if you guys saw the news today. Apparently, they were putting up a lot of locker room bulletin board type material.
Yeah.
I think D Hall put up some stuff
Mhm.
at Trent's locker saying that the Cowboys have the best offensive line in the NFL, and that Tyron Smith is the best left tackle in the NFL. Trying to challenge Trent there. I think someone left something in Bill Callahan's office too. Same thing. And
the story was Ricky Jean left that in his car.
Yep.
A quote, a piece of paper that had a quote on there that said that the Dallas offensive line is the best in the NFL, and I think Ricky Jean left that in Callahan's car. I think.
I heard he was
Now-
pissed too.
Robbie,
Don't doubt it.
now you played in fairly big time college football there. Is that going above and beyond? I know it's the rivalry, and our players do tend to take it a little more seriously than a lot of other NFL players take rivalry games. But leaving notes for a coach in his car window or wherever, that's taking it pretty far, in my opinion.
I like it. I love it actually.
Oh, I love it, but I'm just wondering, did you ever do anything like that in your days, or?
The players themselves, no, not really. We kind of just did our thing. The coaches would put up bulletin board stuff for us all the time, but no, we didn't really do a lot in the locker room in that sense. But I love it. It's great that they're trying to stick to the momentum that they have. That especially with that
The way
team only meeting that they had, changing the mindset, saying this is Kirk's team. Kirk needs to step up and be a leader. All that stuff. And it seems like they're really kind of embracing that and taking up a us against the world type mentality.
Yeah. I do dig it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I'm not into it, but it just seems I don't think I've ever seen players get that fired up very often.
I hope it shows on Monday, man, because I mean we're gonna need it. I mean, because Dallas, they're not gonna just lay over and let us win.
Can't
There
they,
is
for
still
once, just please do that.
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
I'd like to beat them, 52-0, but it definitely won't happen that way.
No, sadly it will not. I got to tell you, my favorite headline that I saw, I just saw the headline on ESPN, and it's so absurd. It's Cowboys are making no apologies for still being in the playoff hunt.
Insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We have I know fans that are kind of Cowboys fans that are actually hoping for them to, lose out and secure a top 5 pick.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna in a few minutes we're gonna go to a special little segment that we have. You'll see in a little bit, but um, it's weird. I think the weird thing about this Cowboys team is yes, the record is terrible. They're not playing well overall, but they are still a very talented team. That's going to be, assuming they do lose out, or at least maybe win one game, they're still going to have a bad record. They're going to be getting a top pick to add more elite talent to that team. So that's the scary thing for the future.
Yeah.
But right now, I want to kick their ass and send them on their way.
Sure.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the game plan. You know, because they are a good team, and what I'd like to give the audience here is a little bit of glimpse into what we may see offensively, knowing the Dallas strengths.
Right.
Excuse me. I think in every game, first of all, the trick is for this offense is to establish a run up front. Whenever we get Alfred Morris rolling, it really opens up Jake Gruden's game plan a lot because we start seeing the play action. If it doesn't work right up front, Jay will give up a little bit on the run, and the play action doesn't come, and that limits the passing offense. And when we've got talented linebackers out there, like Sean Lee, I think it's all the more important to figure out how to contain him and get some holes opened up by the offensive line. So what I personally I think we're going to see is an attempt to get the run rolling early.
Yeah, and the biggest key with that is avoiding 3rd and longs, because they have, like we all have seen on this season so far, is other than Sean Lee, their strength of their defense is that front line. Sure. You got Randy Gregory, first round talent they got in the 2nd round, I believe. And then they have Greg Hardy, obviously, and DeMarcus Lawrence, and pretty talented defensive tackle and last name Crawford. I can't remember his first name. But they have a very good and talented pass rush. And so if we end up in like 3rd and 6 or longer, we could be having a rough night. I mean, our pass pro has been good this year, but
they don't.
But
they don't get a ton of sacks.
No,
they've only had 20 sacks on the season. But Hardy is leading. Greg Hardy, Mr. Domestic Abuser, is leading the pack. He's got 4.5 sacks himself.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like one thing I guess I'm becoming more and more I'm sorry to interrupt you, but one thing I'm becoming more and more confident in this team is the offensive line and pass pro. Because it's just consistently, no matter who they face, they really keep the pocket clean. And this isn't a case of, Kirk Cousins is getting rid of the ball in half a second, because in the game against the Giants, he was holding the ball a pretty long time. Right. I think the offensive line has just done a great job against some talented pass rushers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have.
It doesn't show on paper, but, the talent is there, and they do get pressure at times. So, I mean, I think it'd be in our it would behoove us to avoid 3rd and longs.
Well, why don't we just throw deep to D-Jax 3 or 4 times, get touchdowns on each of those, and we're good.
I ain't even mad.
Yeah, that's my plan. Just long bombs to D-Jax all day long. I want to relive the Santana Moss Monday Night Miracle.
I think we need to get a little bit more creative with D-Jax.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly, because it's to the point now, we're misusing him or something this year, because it's to the point now where either he's running a deep vertical route of some type, or he may take a flat pass, or like a wheel route or something. Yeah. And that's kind of all he does, and I just get the sense last year we used him differently and a little bit more creatively, because at some point these teams are going to figure out how to stop that deep vert, and shade the free safety over something. Yeah, he's not going to keep working.
He can definitely do a lot more than just, run straight fly routes. I mean, I'd send him on those short, shallow cross routes, drag across the middle, not like a slant that's, running into a linebacker or a safety, but shallow cross, just make the, corner trail him a little bit and get some separation that way. Quick screens, bubble screens. I've wanted to use him like the, Seahawks used Percy Harvin back on their Super Bowl run. Jet sweeps, anything creative that can get the ball in his hands to where he can make a play in the open field.
I
Before
am
they
kind
got tired of Percy Harvin and got rid of him.
well,
Exactly.
there's that. But I do kind of wonder if I know his speed is back, but if maybe because he was out for so long, he's not in the kind of shape where he can be out there all the time.
Right.
I've heard that he's not on the field, not for 100% of snaps, certainly, but, that he's not on the field as much as he usually would be.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know. I'm not buying that because it's been, what, a month?
yeah,
He's had more
about.
than enough time to get into football shape. And really, against the Giants, it looked like he had his zip.
Oh, he
It
definitely
looked
has
like
his
he
zip.
on the touchdown pass. He cut real well right off the line. Which is kind of what opened up the. I don't know. I don't think. I think it's something else.
Yeah,
I don't know
maybe.
what it is. I think he's back.
I personally think it's going to be a lot of Jordan Reed against
Yeah.
Dallas. I think they're going to, split him out wide, create mismatches with him and just pick them apart with Jordan Reed. I mean, yes, you still need to get the ball to Deshaun because he's an elite talent and has that elite speed, but Jordan Reed's he's that mismatch player, Who are you going to put on him? Sean Lee? I
Right.
guess that's the best person, but
Yeah, probably the best.
I kind of wonder if we'll see guys like Deshaun and Crowder in the slot more,
Yeah.
try to take advantage of that 3-4 because linebackers aren't covering wide receiver in the slot.
yeah.
I'll be curious about that.
I mean, I think Djax would be good in the slot.
Yeah.
Because give him I think how you beat Deshaun Jackson. If I were coaching the defense, I would play press against him and shade a safety over to help because he's so small and he's not that strong from a football player perspective that if you get a hit on him this is what Richard Sherman used to do to him when he was successful. He would hit him right on the line, and that kind of throws his whole rhythm off. So I think if you put him in the slot where he's off the line, that may help him just a little bit get a head of steam going.
All right, so we've obviously talked about the Redskins' opinion and our perspective all the time, but now since this is a special week, this is Dallas week. It's easy for us to just bash the Cowboys like we normally do or whatnot, but we felt it'd be great to bring in a different perspective, the dark side, if you will. So what we're going to do here is we're bringing on a buddy of mine, Orion Hall. He's a lifelong Cowboys fan. A logical one at that. That's why we brought him on. Right, Orion?
Yeah, somewhat.
All right, so this is
Is there a such thing as a logical Cowboy fan? I wasn't aware of him.
You're in enemy territory right now, Orion.
I've been here all my life.
Ryan, where are you from? Are you one of them NBDS guys?
I'm in Norfolk, Virginia.
No,
Same
but
as where Robbie's at.
no. I'm saying, are you one of those never been to Dallas type Dallas fans?
Oh no, I go to games every year. Went to the Thanksgiving Day game a couple years ago.
The one in 2012?
Oakland one. I think it was
okay.
Oh, okay.
14. No, 13.
13.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and ask you. I mean, everyone is all excited for the return of Tony Romo this season, and then it kind of just vanished out of thin air with one little hit. What do you think about the rest of the season and what that means for the future of the Cowboys?
Well, with the injuries, pretty much have no backup with Matt Castle. So, the best case scenario, win a couple games. Hopefully not too many, and then not be able to get a top 5 draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
If we win enough and make the playoffs, then great. But worst case scenario, you go 7-9, and now you're drafting 15th instead of drafting top 5.
Well, I don't think you got to worry about going 7-9. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen your guys' schedule. You don't worry, you'll have 10 losses on the schedule. You'll be good, at least.
Well, I'm
really,
just curious from a fan's perspective.
3 and 4.
I'm just curious from a fan's perspective. How much difference do you guys really think Tony Romo makes as compared to Castle?
Oh, it's a huge difference just for the aspect of creating plays outside of pockets. You can't blitz him the same way. He does that little herky jerk, and then safety's always covered a different spot. That's normally how he makes the big plays.
Is Johnny Manziel the replacement in the offseason?
God, I hope not. Jerry Jones probably has him on a ticket right now, but
He wanted him bad in the draft. Remember, he was like
Yeah,
vetoed by his son to take Zach Martin.
yeah. Much rather have Zach Martin right now.
Well,
A rare
I think
voice of reason in the
anyone
Dallas
would. Yeah.
organization.
So let me ask you, Jason Garrett, is he just worthless or is he just incompetent? What's going on with his inability to win a game without Tony Romo?
I wouldn't say Jason Garrett is incompetent. I'd say more it's been defensive situations. He's kind of put him in the position, and then the defense has kind of let up at the end. The Saints game, defender gets hurt and tries to jog off the field, and then you have the Philadelphia game where the defense stops him before the end of the game, but can't stop him during the overtime. So that's Marinelli stuff. I wouldn't say it's Garrett completely.
I'd like to know, what can we expect from the Dallas offense against the Redskins defense this week?
I would expect this is my if they can't run the ball, then it's going to be a turnover fest. I'd expect at least 30 carries, maybe 35 for between Turbin and McFadden. If they do that, then that's what I would say their game plan is. But other than that, if they start airing it out,
are you confident in that McFadden can do the job with that many carries and carry an offense?
oh yeah, he's done it. He hasn't actually been nicked up too badly. He had a groin injury, but he carried back-to-back 20-plus carries and had 100 and was averaging 113 yards until last week against Carolina. So, and then we're coming off 11 days rest, so he should be well set up.
And I assume you know that our run defense has just been atrocious basically all year, with the exception of the Giant game. So, I'm assuming that's going to be the game plan: is run McFadden until he falls apart.
Well, your offensive line at Dallas hasn't been that as good as it has been especially compared to last year. They've been giving up some sacks and haven't been running as well. I mean, is that because DeMarco Murray's gone, or are they just not doing as good of a job as they did last season?
I'd say it's a combination. I mean, Murray, he's better than McFadden, so I'd give him that.
Mm-hmm.
But also, if you look at some of our big plays, we've had big run plays called back for holding. And then you can't really, first and 20, you can't really run the ball as effectively. But this week, I wouldn't even count out. It's just Bill Callahan. He knows our situations. He knows the guys. So he can give little tidbits. That's why I don't really count that y'all's rushing defense isn't great.
Mm-hmm.
He can give you all little nuances and stuff. So
I kind of wanted to pick fun. You were talking about Coach Garrett a bit ago. I didn't get it to add it in there, but have you noticed on the sideline, every time it shows him on the sideline, no matter how bad a play was or what's going on in the field, he's always clapping and has that smirk on his face at the team, no matter what happened. I mean, Romo could have had been killed from a sack, and he's still clapping for the team as they jog back to the sideline. Have you noticed that before?
Yeah, he learned that from his Bill Parcells type stuff. He's kind of like the prototype robot coach. He just does the same thing, tries to be all positive. It's weird because I've seen him Romo threw a pitch, the first pick six, and you see him clapping. All right, let's get him this time. It's like, give me something else, because that ain't working.
Yeah.
Well, much has been working for him, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. And let's move on to the Cowboys defense. They're actually still pretty darn good this year. I think they're number 7 in total defense, or at least ranked wise. They're still doing some good stuff on defense. What do you think is their strongest point, or part of their defense?
Well, if Sean Lee's in there, then the communication is good. So that's what I think is one of our strong parts. Our defensive front is really is deep this year. So the rotation, you don't lose a drop off. And if you actually looked at the past games, we've only given up a few touchdowns defensively. A lot of stuff's been pick sixes or special team stuff. So our defense, I'm actually impressed with it, other than Jeff Heath giving up stupid plays. But
Yeah, you certainly
I say our
don't lack
defensive front.
pass rushers.
Oh, yeah, we can send them at will.
So
Our biggest problem, I would say, is third downs, though. We'll give up 3rd and 15, like it's 3rd and 1, it seems.
Des Bryant's not been as good this year either. I mean, that's partly due to not having Tony Romo, but even when Romo was back, it wasn't like the same old, same old. Is Des just still not quite healthy, or?
Well, with my expertise on the foot injury, it actually is supposed to take between 12 and 16 weeks till you feel like it's the actual foot, not a screw. So you can see he has some discomfort. He's thinking about it, going through his cut. He's only had one great game. Well, for his standards, good game. But other than that, I think he just can't get out of his cuts as quick. He has no separation. And so they'll try and move him into the slot a little bit more. But he's just not as comfortable as he is outside running his regular route trees.
Well, I guess that's about it, really. I mean, what do you think about this game? Like, if you had to predict the score, or how do you see it playing out? Do you see Dallas winning, or what?
This is how I see it. I see that this will be the game Dallas would win just to keep everybody's hopes up and then just drag the season on as long as possible. So I can see the game going 21, 24-17. Or I could see it being tied up and Matt Castle throws a pick six to end the game. It could go either way. So
what's your score prediction?
But I say mid-20s, low-20s is the final score. I'll go 24-21 Dallas. But that's just for being a homer.
Okay, of course.
But before we wrap it up, I'm just curious. The Redskin fan base takes the Dallas game really, really seriously, and I think I personally have said it, and many Redskins fans have said, if we only win one game this year, it better be Dallas. From our end, the rivalry is alive and well. Is it still the same from the Dallas perspective, or has the fan base moved on to the Giants or the Eagles in terms of the biggest rivalry?
I think this year the rivalry is probably more Eagles, just because of DeMarcus for Murray's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But I think from all in all, whether or not the games are meaningful or not, I still put the Redskins Cowboys as top. That's the game we gotta have. Whether or not, I don't know if that's all the way around, but for me. For people down here, it's mostly it's Redskins. You got to win that one, and then Philly, and no one likes the Giants. Everyone hates the Giants. So
sure.
Well, their fan base makes it easy to not like them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, man. We appreciate you coming on. It's great to get a different perspective. We can't bring in fans of every team on here, but it's good to have Cowboys fans in your corner to kind of. Just kind of pick their brain on their team and figure out what's going on the other side of the rivalry. So appreciate it, man. We'll talk again sometime. Maybe do the recap.
All right, no problem. Yeah, and I've been listening to y'all stuff every now and then. So y'all have good info. So it got some good comedy. So it's all up and up.
All right.
Hey, well, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, have a good one. Good night.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, y'all too.
All right, so that was my buddy Orion, former teammate from ODU, he resident of Hampton Roads like myself. It's always great to get another team's fan's perspective. He's not your typical Cowboys fan, as you could tell. He's not the trash talker. He's very logical and doesn't really I don't know. It's not your typical rivalry fan.
Yeah, that's a little disappointing. I was trying to get him to do a little trash talking with us, man.
Hey,
he wasn't obnoxious.
He did not take the bait.
Yeah, it's very
I'm gonna have to
unlike
get some of my
Dallas
Cowboys fan friends on, man. They're a bunch of angry redneck types.
Well, that's not. That's not.
Well, I mean, so it's good to hear what he thinks and what generally what Cowboys fans think. What do we think though? Dallas is going to do come Monday. Other than
they got to
what
run
we've
the
said.
ball. They have to run. Run and run. I think if you
Without
look at
Romo,
Castle,
yeah.
Well, I looked a little bit at Matt Castle today in preparation just to see his numbers. So I'm going to give you guys some basic Matt Castle numbers on the season thus far. he's actually their leading passer in terms of total yards at this
Right.
point because Romo's only played a couple games. He's 62.6% completion percentage, 902 total yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, quarterback rating of 78.3. I don't think he's played enough to rate on the official stat list
Right.
yet, but that would put him in the bottom 5.
Now,
You know.
do you know what his yards per completion is? Because I saw for the Panthers game, and it's the Panthers, that it was pretty low. It was like 13 passes
Oh, it
for
is.
93
Yeah.
yards.
Yeah, it's pretty low. On the season, he is 6.5 yards per attempt on
So
the
that-
season,
so
which
that-
is
that-
kind of in Kirk's range if you subtract out, the Giants game. He's about yards per attempt is where we are.
Sure.
But that's not because he stinks. That's not because
Right.
the game plan for us is to have Kirk throw a zillion
We run a
2-yard
West
passes.
Coast offense, yeah.
Yeah, this is just because Matt Castle stinks and he's throwing a lot of incompletions. Because remember, that stat is yards per attempt, not yards per catch.
Right.
Plus, his facial hair sucks.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Whereas Kirk has a majestic beard.
Castle has that Fu Manchu style or handlebars type mustache going on.
Right.
At least last time when the Cowboys played and Romo got hurt, you could see him on the sideline with that funky looking thing you want to call facial hair.
That's how we really should judge more people.
Yes,
in
by
the
their
NFL.
facial hair.
Yes. Yeah.
Are you? What? How does that matter a single bit? Doesn't matter at all.
You're a military guy. You don't know. You don't understand, Steve.
I do understand, and what I understand is it's totally irrelevant. It's almost as dumb and irrelevant as the color of the pants. I just
Yeah.
like to say the fan base. The fan base got their shorts all in a wad last week over gold versus white pants. I'd like to let everybody in a little hint here. It does not matter.
Eh,
It
looks
doesn't
cool.
matter. It doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, you'll say that until they're wearing all pink all the time.
Well, then it would matter a lot. If it was pink.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You
We're
can
not
keep
gonna wear
saying
pink,
it doesn't
Alex.
matter, but you look at what Nike's doing to the state of the NFL uniform. Look at Tampa Bay. You want us to look like Tampa Bay? I don't want us to look like Tampa
No.
Bay. Do you want us to look like we were designed by, mentally disabled
Well,
monkeys from
Well, yeah, we don't want to have our mascot be a very effeminate pirate,
Right.
for certain. I get that. Look, can we get back to the game, perhaps?
You
I'm
brought up
sorry I
pants,
distracted.
and you know how
I did.
passionate I get about pants.
I just don't care about the uniform. As long as it's somehow burgundy and gold, I really don't care. That's all.
Yeah. Let's get into predictions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'll go first. It's going to go one of two ways for us, folks. I think either we lose this one in some kind of low-scoring, ugly, 12-10 loss, and Dallas, screws us somehow, or we're gonna. I actually think we could get a big win here of 28-17, and I'm tending to lean that we win this one, and I think we win it by a pretty big margin.
I'm having
your
a lot
score?
of. Oh,
I
didn't-
said
I don't-
28-17.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Sorry.
us 28-17 Redskins.
Yeah.
I'm having a really hard time on this one, honestly. Because like I said at the top of the show, on paper we really should win this. I think we're a little bit better team at least than Dallas, but it's the Dallas Redskins factor. It's the primetime factor. So it makes me really nervous, and I think you're right in saying, Alex, it has the possibility of going really, really south.
Yeah.
And becoming really, really ugly because we've seen that happen, before. But I'm going to be this is Dallas week, man. I can't pick against the Redskins against Dallas. So I'm going to say the Redskins pull this out, but I don't. We never blow Dallas out ever. So I'm going to say it's a close, tight game. I don't think either team has the ability to score a ton of points. So I'm going to say it's something along the lines of maybe 24-20 Redskins.
24-20. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, really, it's not that far off from what I'm saying, but I just think we get more touchdowns than field goals.
I'm just also worried that it could be 38-3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my problem because we've seen that happen before.
Yeah, I understand. Believe me, none of us want that.
Yeah, I am worried this could be a trap game where Dallas all of a sudden kind of like surprises us and we're playing on our heels the whole game trying to catch up. But I don't know. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be about 20-17 ish Redskins. I hope I don't jinx them by saying they're going to win because I've been saying they'll lose each week for a while now, and I'd rather be wrong than I am right about losing.
Dallas week
You
is the
and me
one week
both.
where I just can't predict the Redskins to lose.
I really can't either.
Yeah.
Robbie, you and me both have been pretty negative on the predictions.
Mm.
And I'd rather be wrong. And really, the problem is, we, the fans, have been burned so long, for so many years, and we've seen things go, just crazy things happen bad.
Right.
It's really hard for me to just get back into that, 80s, 90s Joe Jacoby era mentality where we expect them to win. Because I don't expect them to win. I expect them to step on themselves and do bad.
It is a kind of PTSD, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
And
we're not going to compare PTSD.
No, absolutely not. But
I know what you mean.
a kind of
shell shock.
PTSD.
But these are my factors to the game in general, though. We've kind of touched on it. Can they play well in prime time? How is Kirk Cousins going to play? I don't think he's played Monday Night Football before, has he? I think this is his first time.
He's played in prime time before, and it doesn't
But not
go
Monday Night
well.
Football.
I don't think he started. I know he hadn't started.
Not Monday nights, but he's done Sunday nights before.
Okay.
And Thursday nights.
All right, so I want to see how he plays in Monday Night Football. Does he fold under the pressure? Does he wet the bed? Don't play hero ball like I said a couple weeks ago. Just manage the game. How is he going to play? Do we live up to the hype that we played with last week against the Giants? Can we keep that ball rolling? Can we keep playing with that same fire? It looks like that's going to stay the same because of how they've been in the locker room. Other than that, it's just keep that same us against the world mentality. Bring the heat to them, and don't set the tone. Don't let them be the ones to set that tone. Bring it to them and don't let up. But
So what's your prediction?
Yeah, Robbie, that was a lot of talking. What's your score, man?
I said
you give us a score,
20-17.
Oh, did you? I really was paying attention. I promise.
Yeah, you just
I
kept
really
going.
I
wasn't
said it a
looking
long
for
time. I said it a long
stats.
time ago.
All right.
I really wasn't looking for. I really wasn't looking for Kirk Cousins' game log stats while you were talking. I promise.
I wasn't realizing that I forgot to tell my whole Joe Jacoby story until Steve mentioned Joe Jacoby.
Yeah, shoot.
Oh yeah, you got to tell us what happened. I mean, we know what happened. Tell the audience what happened.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I'm at work, at my boring everyday job that I do. That, I shouldn't bash it too much. A few people I work with listen now. I like my job. It's just not as exciting as talking football on the podcast. And my phone rings. I didn't recognize the number, obviously, because I'm not the kind of guy who's going to keep his number in my phone.
Oh, I am.
Well, I have it stored away somewhere. I just not in my phone. I don't want to tempt, drunk me. So I pick it up and I say, and he's like, "Hey, it's Joe," and I'm like, "Hello, Joe who?" And he's like, "It's Joe Jacoby," and I'm like, "Oh, hi, Mr. Jacoby. How are you?" And he says, "You don't have to call me Mr. Jacoby." I said, Yes, I do. But yeah, he was just calling because for the fans out there, the second round of voting happens on the 18th for narrowing down the whole Hall of Fame vote. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure Steve kind of knows that already. Steve's been the one coordinating all the other Hall of Fame, get Jacoby in the Hall of Fame stuff for us. But Joe's really called me because he wants to make a second push. So if you're listening to this show and you haven't clicked on our banner about getting Joe to the Hall of Fame and, written to a couple of the voters, the writers who vote for the Hall of Fame candidates, you really should, not just because Joe Jacoby called me and he wants to be our best friends now. And we're very willing to make that happen. But, he really does deserve to be in the Hall.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Steve actually went on another show to push it. And yeah.
people need to understand that we're serious about this.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just because Joe was on our show and we were honored to have him. We really do think that the fans, can make a difference in this, because we've seen it happen. The fans had played a role in getting Art Monk into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Should be the article to talk about it. The fans truly had a role, and we can do that again for Joe. We just have to let all these stodgy, doofus voters out there.
And make sure you don't include stodgy and doofus voter in whatever.
Yeah, that won't help.
Dear doofus voter, here's
dear
why Joe
jerkhole
Jacoby.
Peter King.
Yeah, if Peter, you're listening to this podcast right now, which I know you are, I don't think you're a doofus. I won't. I may think you're a doofus now, but I'll think better of you if you vote Joe in.
Yes.
Dear
If you don't vote
dumbass.
Joe in, you're back to being a doofus.
Yeah. So yeah, he was just calling about that, and to wrap up my story real quick, he then just started, chatting with me, and at one point I had to say to him, Joe, listen, I love talking to you, but I am actually in the middle of a live event I'm doing right now. I gotta hang up the phone at some point. Because, I do webcasts. I can't be talking on the phone all day.
Have your people call my people.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is,
But
you
I'm
blew
Steve's
Joe
people.
Jacoby off.
I did not blow Joe Jacoby off. I'm sure he's the kind of guy who would talk to me for an hour if I had the time, and I would talk to him if I had the time.
Did you say you're my people?
Yes, I'm your people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the techie for the group. I'm not the the head guy.
True.
I'm
I'm
all
just
of your
glad
guys'
you finally
people.
understand your role. See, now you're my person.
Well, not just you. I'm
Glad you
Robbie's
understand
person. I'm Sean's person. I'm everybody's
Right.
person. I'm
I'm
the
just
technical
plain-
producer. That's what my title is on my business cards I made for myself.
Yeah, that's great, Joe Jacoby. But I gotta go now. I'll talk to you later.
It wasn't
I'll hit me up later when I have more time.
right. He did say if he gets in the hall, we should try and make it up there for his enshrinement and meet up with him.
That's
So-
very
Would be a
enticing.
yes.
Yeah,
That would-
I will do that, and I assume you guys would do that in a heartbeat. So
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a spontaneous call from Joe Jacoby. Just another day.
The point to all this is, people, please
Right.
go to our website. Please email the voters. Tell them how you feel, and maybe we can get Joe in this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And share the article that Steve wrote up. The
Right.
great article. Make sure everybody that friends, family, everybody, reads it and sees it and does something about it.
Right.
All right.
Yep.
So that about wraps up the Hogsty this time with our Dallas Cowboys preview against the Redskins. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you guys and broadcasting with a happy note and a victory to celebrate.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can beat Dallas and keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Make a solid push for the playoffs.
Mhm.
Dare I say it?
And if for some reason you haven't listened to our interview with Master, you
Yes.
definitely should listen to that. Robbie and I had a lot of fun talking to him. He is gonna go places. I just get that feeling about him.
Bright future ahead of him.
Yeah.
He's very talented, very humble guy.
He's already
Really
gone
cool.
places. He's 24 and working for the Washington Post. He's already gone places.
No, I'm talking like we want to keep his phone number in our little Rolodex because he'll probably be on one of those 12 o'clock programs.
Well, because
just
someday
before
when
long.
he's an ESPN guy and he refuses to acknowledge our existence,
Right.
we'll know how to
Exactly.
call him directly. Yeah.
Exactly. That's the plan.
Well,
All right.
that does it again.
Yeah. Sorry.
We lost track again.
That's all right.
We love tangerines here, We'll see you guys on. Ooh, squirrel! Yeah, we'll see you guys later. Catch us on the interwebs on Twitter at the Hogsty and our Facebook page, Hail to the Hogs. And other than that, we'll see you later.
I'm no fan of tangerines, by the way.
I love you, Joe Jacoby.